What's up YouTube? I'm Vaughn and this is the Gear channel where we discuss collectibles, hobbies, competitive games from tabletop to video games, and today we are reviewing the Transformers Legacy Galvatron. Now the market price for this figure is around $80, which is extremely expensive for what you're getting and definitely is not a good price point at all. Now before we begin, friendly reminder as always to like and subscribe because it really helps the channel a lot and I do really appreciate it. So taking a close-up look at the top half, we can see some amazing detail, especially that head sculpt is just perfect. There's really no complaint of it, and to be very honest, there's lots of nice details of this specific figure. I can't really complain. Even for gaps, there are some semi-gaps that we're going to see a bit sticking out later on, like especially the forearms, but it's really not that bad. Even checking on the bottom half, we can see it's retaining a lot of that nice details. The paint application is on point. I really have no issues at all. The aesthetics of this figure is just amazing. It's just the price point that seems quite high for it. Now let's check some accessories. So starting first, we have these two looking cannon things that actually combine together as well to make a gun looking cannon, which you could actually just hold just like this. And there we go. If not, another storage that you could do is when you separate it, you actually have the pegs over here and just put both of them in. It's kind of hard sometimes to place them. That's the only thing I find was maybe a last minute decision that they did. But yeah, you could put both of them so it hands out like that. Next, we have his arm cannon, which looks amazing. The detail is just on point. There's no issues at all with it, and it could be easily placed on his forearm. Just over here, we have pegs, multiple, and you just plug it in, and there we go. Looks amazing. Here we have the Matrix of Leadership, and this looks incredible. It has the chain. Now, yes, you could actually take the Matrix off just to have him either holding it or another figure holding it as well. So it's decent size. Now to have it wrap around, it's quite simple. We're going to just take Galvatron and we just slide it like this and there we go. And here he is with all his accessories. And yes, his arm cannon can actually work with parts effects. So this is very cool. And there's really no complaints that I have, especially for posability. We're going to go check some articulation real quick. So starting with the head, it could turn 360, which is always nice to have. It's on a ball joint, but it can only look up that high and down, so it's not really that good for head posabilities. Shoulders can turn all the way up, can also turn 360, which is always nice to have, especially. There is actually quite a bit of a shoulder elbow bend, my bad. Over here, that is very, very good. The hands could actually turn 360, so you can rotate it as much as you like. If you lift the arms up, you can actually see that it could actually move decently with the hip. There is a few things that get in the way. His skirt could actually move out of the way, so if you need to pose it more, then you have that option as well. It has a front skirt, which I don't know what's the function of it, and it doesn't really relative to the transformation, but you have that as an option as well. For legs, there's actually lots of articulation in the legs, so you could definitely put forward and backwards, limited to the back, but also you could definitely kick it if you want. There is a decent knee bend as well. Now for the ankle, there's no rotation, but there's definitely a nice tilt that you can do with this, so you could pose it very decently. Now I think it's about time we check some size comparison. Here he is next to the Transformers movie Sweep. Here he is next to the Transformers Kingdom Cyclone. And finally, here he is next to the MP Plus Megatron. Now I think it's about time we check his transformation. And here he is in his cannon mode. Now, I do say he looks a lot nicer without all the accessories added on, especially with the cannons. Now, the Matrix, you could put it on if you like it or not. Me, I prefer it just to leave it plain, so it's a lot more accurate to the G1 look. Now I think it's about time we check some size comparison. Here he is next to Sweep. As you can clearly see, Galvatron is a tad bit taller, mostly because of the actual body and not including the cannon part. But yeah, he's a decent size in his cannon mode. Here he is next to Cyclone. Now, Cyclone is actually quite longer, but you know, Galvatron is definitely a lot bulkier than Cyclone is, but yeah, definitely decent size, especially if you want to display them in their vehicle mode. It's quite nice. And finally, here he is next to Refractor, because my MP Plus Megatron, it tends to paint chip quite a bit, and the chrome, it tends to flake and crack multiple times, so I will not be transforming that masterpiece anytime soon, or probably at all. But this gives you a decent size of Galvatron, so very nice. And that's it for a review of the Transformers Legacy Galvatron. Now, this is definitely an amazing figure. Sadly, I couldn't really figure out how to do a gun mode. Now, if you guys know, definitely comment it down below. And if you guys enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Like and subscribe, because it really helps the channel, and I do really appreciate it. And if you want a sneak peek of future products we're planning to review here on the channel, you can follow me on my Instagram, VaughnGear. I'm Vaughn, and this was the Gear Channel.